Commander Naval Installation Command, or CNIC, is happy to introduce an automated entry process for perimeter access control points. These access control points, or ACPs, will have one or more automated entrance lanes that control the movement of vehicles through a series of gates, while the physical access control system verifies credentials. In the next few minutes, we'll take a look at what happens as vehicles enter these automated gates through a variety of conditions at these automated ACPs. In the case of higher volume ECPs, these automated systems will operate on multiple lanes at one time and can operate alongside lanes under manual control by a posted sentry. First, let's see what a driver with a valid ID and PIN will experience during the entrance process. The driver pulls into what is known as the credential zone. This area has a pedestal display, a card reader, a vehicle presence sensor, and a drop arm gate. As the driver approaches the card reader, the monitor on the pedestal displays a message to "Please wait." Once the car is detected, the monitor instructs the driver to present ID card. The driver swipes their card in the reader and waits as the system validates the ID. The installation may also require the driver to enter a personal identification number. If this is the case, then the monitor will request that the driver enter PIN number. If the PIN is correct, the monitor informs the driver that access is granted, and the drop arm is raised and the barrier signal notifies the driver to proceed. If the vehicle does not exit the credential zone in a reasonable amount of time, a lane blocked alarm is sent to security. As soon as the vehicle clears the credential zone, the drop arm is lowered again and the vehicle trap gate opens. A signal on the vehicle trap gate tells the driver to proceed, and the vehicle then enters the vehicle trap zone. The vehicle trap gate closes behind the vehicle and the trap barrier in front opens, and a signal notifies the driver they may enter the installation. After the vehicle enters and clears the vehicle trap zone, the barrier closes and drop arm is lowered. A driver with a valid ID card but invalid PIN will be denied access by the system. The vehicle enters the credential zone and messages instruct the driver to wait as the vehicle presence sensor detects the car. The driver is instructed to swipe their ID and enter their PIN. The system determines that the driver's PIN is invalid, and the pedestal displays the message, "Access denied, try again." Gates remain closed. The driver is given 2 more attempts to enter a correct PIN in 12 seconds. Unable to verify the PIN, the pedestal displays the message, "Access denied, please exit." The drop arm opens. However, the vehicle trap gates remain closed, and the vehicle will not be allowed to enter the installation. The drop arm signal notifies the driver to proceed to the reject lane. Once again, if the driver does not exit the credential area within 60 seconds, a lane blocked alarm is sent to security. The drop arm is closed as soon as the vehicle clears the credential zone. The vehicle proceeds to the reject lane and then into the outbound lane and exits the gate area. Users with an invalid or unauthorized ID will experience a similar chain of events. The vehicle enters the credential zone and messages instruct the driver to wait as the vehicle presence sensor detects the car. The driver is instructed to swipe their ID. The system determines that the driver's ID is invalid, and the pedestal displays the message, "Access denied, try again." Gates remain closed. The driver has 3 chances to produce a correct ID in 12 seconds. Unable to verify the ID, the pedestal displays the message, "Access denied, please exit." The drop arm opens and the vehicle trap gates remain closed. The drop arm signal notifies the driver to proceed to the reject lane. If the driver does not exit the credential area within 60 seconds, a lane blocked alarm is sent to security. The drop arm is closed as soon as the vehicle clears the credential zone. The vehicle proceeds to the reject lane and then into the outbound lane and exits the gate area. The driver enters the credential zone and the pedestal display asks them to present ID card. The driver does not have an ID and does nothing. After 60 seconds, the system times out and the monitor displays an "Access denied, please exit" message. The drop arm opens and the vehicle trap gate remains closed. All vehicle trap gates are also closed once their vehicles clear. A signal on the drop arm barrier tells the driver to proceed to the reject lane. The driver exits the credential zone and enters the reject lane, and then proceeds to the outbound lane to exit the area. An alarm is also sent to security. A vehicle enters the credential zone and another pulls in closely behind it. The system detects the first vehicle, and the pedestal display instructs the driver to present ID card. The driver presents their ID and enters their PIN when instructed to. The pedestal displays an "Access granted" message. The drop arm is raised and the barrier signal notifies the driver to proceed. The second vehicle tailgates behind the first vehicle through the drop arm, and an alarm is generated and sent to security. The barrier signals flash red, and the dynamic message sign at the entrance displays "Alarm condition, gate closed." All vehicle trap gates and barriers remain closed while security arrives to assess and rectify the situation. The automated gate system can also protect against drivers passing their IDs back to the next card for access. A vehicle enters the credential zone, and the driver presents their ID and enters their PIN as instructed to by the pedestal display. Their credentials are verified, and the system grants them access. The first driver leaves their ID on the pedestal for the next driver and enters through the drop arm to the vehicle trap as instructed by the signals. The second driver uses the ID, but the system detects it has been less than 5 minutes since the ID had been last used. The barrier signals flash red lights, and the entrance dynamic message sign displays "Alarm condition, gate closed." All vehicle trap barriers, gates, and drop arms remain closed until security arrives to assess and rectify the situation. CNIC hopes you better understand how these automated gates and access control points function to maintain high security standards while keeping traffic flowing.